Okay. I'm live. At least I think I am. I'm just a little frustrated because I have been trying to get this live set up on my tablet and nothing seems to be working. And now I'm on my computer. And I don't know if you can see anything or if anybody's here, but welcome. Should be now. If somebody's there, can you please let me know you're there, please? Might take a minute. Okay. Hi, Catherine. Can you hear me okay? I'm sorry for the delay. I have been trying to get this live set up on my tablet, and it won't work on my tablet. And now I'm on my computer. Oh, yay. Thank you. Okay, so we're just going to wait for a few minutes because it's like 7:09 now, and I wanted to start this. I was trying to start it about a minute early. But thank you for being here. Where are you watching from? Come on. Murphy has to come and say hi. And he got all shaved the other day. My sister shaved him. He had at least 3 inches of fur, and he was so cute. Now he looks like a Jack Russell. All right, let's see if anybody else is going to hop on. I'm just so frustrated. You're in North Bay, but traveling across Canada. So where are you heading in Canada? Oh, you're in CherAnn, BC. Lucky you being in BC, as long as there aren't any wildfires. Oh, hi, Marie. Thanks for coming too. Where are you watching from? Sorry that the live is late, but I'm having technical difficulties trying to get this thing set up on my tablet, and it wouldn't work. And I have probably sent so many. Okeechobee, Florida. Nice. Well, thanks for joining. But anyways, as I was saying, I was trying to get my tablet set up to do the live. It wasn't working, and I bet you guys have seen like a bazillion notices for this live, and I don't know why I can't get. I mean, I'm very techie, and this is just so frustrating for me that I can't get the live set up on my tablet. So now I'm watching through my computer, and I hope you guys will be able to see what I'm doing here. I'll just have to adjust. Okay, and so Catherine said, okay, she's in CherAnn. Don't lick my hand. You're making me move the mouse. No, Murphy. Okay, give me a kiss. All right, down you go, buddy. You can come and say hi after everybody. All right, sorry about that, guys. I was really trying to get this up and running today. Oops, that's not going to sit. Anyhow, all right, so... okay, that means Big Lake in the Seminole language. That's so cool. Well, I'm in Wasaga Beach, Ontario, Canada. And of course, we have all First Nations names up around here as well. And for anybody who's not familiar with where Wasaga Beach is, Canadians pretty much know, but Wasaga Beach is on Georgian Bay, which is part of the Great Lakes system. And it's kind of in between Lake Superior and Lake Huron, and then it flows up around the Tobermory Bruce Peninsula down into Lake Huron. And Wasaga Beach is the longest freshwater beach in the world. And honestly, I swear we have, because it's so big, it really should be considered a Great Lake as well. But when you're sitting at the beach and you start off with the water, like maybe if you're sitting in your lawn chair and the water's a foot away from you, within not maybe an hour or so, the water's almost up to your toes. So I think because the Great Lakes have such a large body, there's such a large body of water, and Georgian Bay itself is such a huge, it should be a lake, a big part of a lake as well. But I swear there's a bit of a tide going on in the freshwater Georgian Bay, which is huge. But anyways, look it up on Google Maps and you'll see where we are. And we're kind of sort of the west coast of Ontario. All right, so I'm going to get started because I am late and I'm really frustrated because I don't know how many notifications I made for this live and how many times I've started this live trying to schedule it. I had it scheduled, and then when I went into the schedule to open it up, it disappeared, and then I found I had already been doing a live. I'm like, oh, anyway, it's just one of those nights. But thank you for spending your Friday night with us. So tonight we are going to be doing the Magnolia Rae traveler pouch. Sew along. So I hope you guys have your patterns. It's Brenna's pattern from Sunshine Stitches. And if you haven't seen, well, don't fret, at least you're trying. It's thank you. But it's just so frustrating for me because I'm so techie and I'm so much into anything that's tech. This is driving me nuts. Like Facebook Lives, boom, boom, you're on Facebook Live, no problem. This is different. When I set things up and I have it scheduled and they disappear, it's like, anyway. Okay, we're doing the Magnolia Rae traveler pouch from Sunshine Stitches. It's Brenna's pattern. And this is such a cute pattern. So you've seen the ones I've been posting on YouTube. So this is one of the ones that I have made. I have a lot of craft shows coming up in the fall and winter. So I wanted to do some Canadiana, because we're in a high tourist area, and I wanted to do some Canadiana looking ones. So you guys would have seen hopefully the tutorial on the Magnolia Rae that I did, and the embroidered maple leaf that I did on it. Oh, my finger, sorry if anybody gets weirded out by bandages. I was cleaning my scissors and sliced open my finger today, and then last week I actually sewed I actually sewed into my fingernail. I'm like, okay. All right. Anyhow, so this is the Magnolia Rae. I did it in, of course, Canadian colors because I made 6 of them. So I made 6 that were predominantly red and white. And then the other ones I did all white, and then the back was red. And I'm still waiting for my Rex faux leather from EMMALINE bags to come in to finish making all the straps. But of course, you guys know it has a crossbody strap. It has a wristlet as well, and it has the strap for the tumbler, which I forgot to get. Hold, please, give me a sec. I'm all discombobulated because I planned on having this all here. So here is the strap on I have a 40 ounce, 42 ounce water tumbler. And this is one of the first ones I made. So of course, you know that it can strap onto your water tumbler. Hi, Nancy. Thanks for coming. I was just saying I'm a little discombobulated because I'm pretty frustrated with this YouTube live and trying to get things set up on the tablet. Anyhow, I'm on my computer and hopefully you guys will be able to see what I do. So, and I've seen people take this strap and put it on their arm to wear while they're running, to have their phone in. Note to self, don't put your phone in the bag and stuff in the bag without having water in. Like I put this on my tumbler without water, but before you set it down, because it will be top heavy, if there isn't any water, and everything will fall. So this is, of course, the Magnolia Rae. I'm going to pop it over here. Maybe you can see it in the distance. So, okay, so we've got Catherine, Marie, Nancy, and so Sabrina. Hi there. And Brenna, of course, from Sunshine Stitches with the Magnolia Rae. So we got a nice crew. Thanks for coming, guys. I really appreciate you taking your time on your Friday night to join me. So the Magnolia Rae, before I get started, if you don't have your pattern, in the well, it was in the description box, but I will make sure everything's in there after the live. Then I will make sure that I will have everything posted in the description box. There is a link. Brenna is generously giving a 10% off discount on the pattern and a 10% discount off on these amazing templates that I've used for the first time. I've never used templates before. If you'd seen the cutting out video and of course the tutorial, you'll know how much I raved about these and how fast they are and amazing to use. So 10% off. 360 is the code in Brenna's Sunshine Stitches Etsy store. There will be a link to this live description after I am done. And yeah, okay, Brenna, okay, so now I got to find out how to make you an admin. Channel activity. Add as moderator. Can manage blocked words. Okay, so I think I'm giving it to you all. Okay, I clicked on your name. I'm giving it to you all. So type something again to make sure I see the little wrench. But thank you, Brenna, for that. I appreciate that. Nancy, I don't know if you want to be a moderator too, because you're always on and you're always supporting me as well. Yay, it worked. Woo, something technical worked. Oh my God, I'm telling you, this whole tablet thing is just really, anyway, back to Brenna's lovely template. So she's giving us 10% off. Everything will be, the link will be in the description. Okay, so I'm just going to make you as well, just in case, add as moderator. Okay, so I've got the two of you guys as moderators now. Thank you so much. Just so you can do a tag team. And so there will be, so Brenna can even post the link right in the chat here for the 10% off, but it will be in the description box as well. And I'll be having where I get my fabric, and those will be all on the link. Everything was all set, ready to go, and then it just disappeared. Okay, so once again, for those just joining, here is, okay, Marie, thank you. We'll see you when you pop back on. And anyway, so there's the Magnolia Rae. This is the one I'm doing. But now today, the one that we are going to do, and if there's time after, I'm going to show you what I've been working on too. So today's Magnolia Rae, this is the zipper. The zipper that I'm doing, it's kind of a corally pink with gold zipper teeth. Now I got this from Temu. It's the weird zipper teeth. They're almost like shark teeth. They're very pointed. So it's a number 5 zipper. It doesn't fit your regular zipper pulls that you would get from WAWAK or Zipper Valley or whatever. These are different, and they came with their own zipper pull. So it's gold. I don't have any gold hardware. Oh, and before I forget, I don't know if Brenna is going to be offering these for sale, but she sent me these. Oh, it might be easier to see. Okay, yep, she's posted. Yay. Hi, Joni. Thanks for joining. Okay, so Brenna has posted using 10% off code 360. Get your Magnolia Rae Traveler Pouch pattern and acrylic templates at 10% off until August 22nd. 11:59 p.m. CST, so Central Standard Time. That's North American. And so she'll give 10%, you'll get 10% off the pattern and the templates. Got to get those templates because you are going to be making more than one of these. But she also sent me these. Aren't they cute? They're little keychains. So there's one in the pink and there's one in green. So I don't know. I know she said she was thinking of maybe making these, but if there's an interest, let her know, because then if you're a bag maker and you want to add something like this to your bag, there you can see that. Isn't that cool? She has my logo on it and it's so cool. All right, so we're going to move on with that. So my zipper is, of course, from Temu. Not the typical number 5 zipper teeth that you see, but it is a number 5 zipper. My fabric that I am using is from Sam Fabric Creation. So Brenda, you're going to recognize this. It's what you sent me when you sent me the templates. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful floral rose with peaches and pinks and browns, and it's very vintagey looking. So I've already put my bag tag on. I've already put the foam on the front and the back. So there's the back, and I've already made my marks here. I'm going backwards because now I'm looking at my camera on my computer. So I've already made the measurements there, but I'll go over that. So that's my exterior fabric, and my interior fabric is this beautiful, it's from EMMALINE bags, and it's pack cloth. It's hard to see, but it has a really nice sheen to it. And it's a 400 Denier, so it makes a really, really nice lining. And it, so we're going to use that for the interior lining. And okay, and then of course our card slot. So what we're going to start with today, before I forget, because I did have it on my phone and now it's disappeared. I don't want to forget my notes. Nothing's going right. Okay, so one of the things I had to do, oh, she's single mumming it right now, so she'll be hopping on and off. Okay, perfect. So you and Nancy can do a tag team. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody else being here. Oh, and so guess what? As of this moment in time, I started my YouTube channel a month ago. I have 924 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button, like, share, and comment, which is great as well, because that'll boost up the algorithm in YouTube. So thank you everybody for subscribing. I really, really appreciate you being here, and the fact that my channel has started to grow so fast. This has been a dream of mine for a long time, but I was very busy for the past couple of years taking care of my parents. And now my sister is here living with my mom, and we're doing a tag team for things, but she's living there full time. So that's really, really super great. But this YouTube channel has been a dream of mine for some time. So I don't know if you noticed, but guess what? I've moved around again. I had to move my sewing. So all across here, I used to have that, I had right here that table that goes up and down, the electric table, and it matched across here with the cutting mat. Well, I wasn't able to use it very well because we have cupboards up above, and then my pegboard was there, and I kept knocking things off when I had to raise it up to the highest level for cutting. So I moved it here, which my computer is sitting on. So now all I have to do is just turn. I still have my U shape, which is very important for setting up. But I've now been able to, that cute little cabinet that I had on wheels, I've now put a shelf on it, and I put my Kenmore here. So now I'm able to just have my Kenmore here right handy, my vintage Kenmore, that when I want to do a lining, say I'm doing a dark bag, but I need a light lining, I can set that up and have it there ready right away. So also, my website, www.tree60handmadebags.com. Right now, I'm having a huge website sale on current inventory, in-stock inventory, big savings, Canadian dollars. And if you're interested, let me know. Check it out. It's on until September 2nd, which is the first day of school for our kids here. Join my Facebook group if you haven't joined already. Just on Facebook, in the groups, just search for Tree 60 Handmade Bags, and you'll find me because you'll find my logo. And that's it. Okay, so let's get going. So what we're going to start with is we're going to do all the little things to get ready. So right now I have my strap. So I'm going to work on my strap. So I have, the strap is going to be finished a 1/2 inch. So when you're making a 1/2 inch strap, you cut 2 inches of fabric and then the length of the fabric. And I'm just still watching the comments as well. Hey, thanks, Nancy. You're on it too. So anyways, I've already marked my center. It's hard to see because this is not the right type camera. There, you can just see my line. And then I've got double-sided tape, 1/8 inch double-sided tape down both sides. So we're going to be making the strap. Then I have the wristlet. I've marked the center as well. And I put double-sided tape down the center because all of these are the same steps. So if you're sewing along, that's great. I'm going to move my tablet in case it gets knocked off. And then we're going to do the D-ring connectors, which is the same, a line down the center and then the double-sided tape on either side. And then we're going to do the back removable Velcroed tumbler strap connector. So I have all of my pieces marked. So let's do the little ones first and then we'll do the strap because it's good to get these guys out of the way. So I'm going to do the D-ring connectors. One thing that's great about this setup is that, and Brenna, okay, sorry, I'm sorry for stopping, but Brenna says, I love that you make a 1/2 inch strap. It's fun seeing people use all different strap sizes compared to what's in the pattern. Yeah, so, and one of the things also, because this really, really confused me when I first started bag making, and also for all of you seasoned bag makers, if I say in detail, because I am extremely detail oriented, if I say things that you already know, there could be somebody here for the first time learning how to make a bag. And the Magnolia Rae is a perfect bag to start. It's small, it's cute. And they may not know some of the things either. But so for your strap, you know, like I said, I got a 2-inch wide material that folds in, and you get finished half inch strap. If you're making a 1-inch strap yourself, you need 4 inches wide of the material and then your length. Your oops, I just lost some stuff in the garbage. And then you need a 4-inch wide strip of material and then the length of the strap. If you're making an 1.5 inch strap, you need 6 inches. So that's a lot of material. If you only have a 1/2 meter, well, so in Canada, meters are 39 inches, your yard is 36 inches, because typically your fabric is 54, 55 inches long for the vinyls and faux leathers and all of that stuff. So if you have, say, 1/2 meter or a full meter, full yard, whatever, 1/2 yard, make sure you cut your strap out first. Don't get literally cut short. If you cut out all your pattern pieces first and then you go to cut out your strap, you're not going to have the length anymore. So make sure that if you only have, say, 1/2 meter, which is 18 inches, 19 inches, then make sure if you're going to make an 1.5 inch wide strap, you need to cut 6 inches off the one edge so that the rest of the fabric, that's where you can start mapping out your other pattern pieces. All right, so we're going to start with the D-ring connectors. And then what I do is I just sew, and I've got in my machine, I have heavy duty brown, dark brown Gutermann. It's heavy duty thread, and I just get it at Walmart. I started off with red, but then when I started seeing the colors in here in a better lighting today, I realized that the brown would look amazing with this. So I'm just taking the double-sided tape off. Now I'm going, see, now I have to get used to working right here in front of you, which you can't see. Oh, hold on, you can see here. Let me make some adjustments to my computer because then maybe I can move you forward and you can see me better. No, I think it was better pushed away. All right, sorry guys, I'm moving you. Okay, there, I think you can see me better. I just can't tilt you down. It's not going to let me tilt. Okay, so I'm taking the double-sided tape off of the D-ring connectors. And I'm using 1/2-inch D-ring connectors. The rest of my hardware is in gunmetal. I would have liked to have continued on with the gold, but I don't have. That's not a color I kind of stick to antique brass and gunmetal. So I'm just going to fold these edges into the center, and I'm sticking to everything because of course it's muggy in here. Put a fan on. I had all the fans on earlier, but then I think I was just getting too frustrated because I couldn't get this live up and running. All right, so I'm just folding them over into the center. And I hope you guys are sewing along with me too. And it's hard, you know, we've all cut ourselves. We've all sewn our fingers in with the needle. And I've done both of that on the same finger, really sliced this bad today. So, all right. So I've got my centers. I've got the edges pushed, folded into the center. So I'm just going to top stitch on these both sides, 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Chat amongst yourselves too, because I think everybody probably knows everybody. Pretty much. And I'm so happy with this jack. I have to tell you, I think it's a Juki knockoff, but I got this on, somebody was selling it on Facebook Marketplace at just after Christmas. And they bought it brand new during COVID, and they rarely used it because she really didn't kind of figure out how to use it. It didn't come with a manual. Well, I shouldn't say that. The manual that it came with was all in a different language. So, and try to find a manual online is almost impossible. All right, so I'm just cutting off my stitches. So now what I'm going to do is move that. I'm just going to take my 1/4 inch double-sided tape. Double-sided tape, I tell you, is the best. Fold these in half. Get my D-ring connectors out. I get my double-sided tape right at the moment from Dollar Tree. It's $1.25 a roll, and I usually stock up on 25 or 30 rolls at a time. The only thing I don't like is all the packaging I have to pull the rolls out of and then throw all that out. I really, really hate that. So I've just folded each D-ring connector in half, and I'm just going to take a strip of 1/4 inch double-sided tape, and I'm just going to run it up the center. Doesn't have to be neat or perfect. Just like that. That's the worst thing about double-sided tape is trying to get it to stick, especially when it's muggy. We've had horrendous heat. I'm sure everybody else has had a lot of heat as well. Oh, and Joni's sewing a Bartleby right now. I love the Bartleby. I've sold a lot of those. I was making them with... if you're in Canada and you get the Mora faux leather from EMMALINE bags, they're mustard yellow and the Moroccan blue are stunning together. And I made those colors in honor of the people of Ukraine. So I've just pulled off the double-sided tape on the one side, and then I put my D-ring on, and then I'm just going to line those up. Boy, is that ever hard without a pointer finger that works. And I'll do the same on this one. I tried to get a lot of stuff done ahead of time just so that I wouldn't take forever. Okay. Oops, I forgot to put my D-ring connector on. Murphy, I'm sure, will be back. Frankie will be here. You guys have all met them. Okay, so I didn't line that up very well. That's the beauty of double-sided tape. You can pull it apart and realign it. Okay, so I'm just going to take these for now, and I'm just going to clip them together and put them aside. So I've got the 2 D-ring connectors all stitched. I'm trying to do this, and the camera's backwards. Okay, then I'm going to do, now I'm going to do the wristlet. So Brenna has a certain instructions of how she does the wristlet in her pattern. And I've done it that way. And I'm going to do it my way because I have got myself so tied up, and it's a great way. It looks amazing. You wind up with a continuous, wristlet, and it looks great. But I'm going to do it this way because I find it faster. I think I need to move my garbage can. Oh, that's what I was saying about me moving everything over here is it works out great because before I had stuff right here where my knees are, and I have long legs. I take a 33-inch inseam. So my legs were getting knocked into everything here. And if you do hear me yell, I apologize. My knee lift is right here, and I've racked my knee on it so many times. All right, so I'm just taking the double-sided tape off of the wristlet, and I'm just going to line up the same as the D-ring connector, line it up into the center. And the other side as well. And then we're going to fold that over, and it'll make, now hers is a little less than a 1/2 inch wide. I made mine, it's sticking to everything. I made mine so it's going to be about a 1/2 inch wide. Okay. Now another little trick, I know Barbie does this as well. So there, I've done it that way. And now another little trick is to take so 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape and run it up one side of the wrong side of the strap. So there's your wrong side. You've got your 2 edges together. Run that up with a double-sided tape, pull it off, and then that helps you fold it and line it up. I still clip because this stuff doesn't want to stick. Sometimes it depends on the fabric. So when I record my YouTube tutorials, you might see a 2.5 or 3.5 hour long YouTube, and but it probably takes me about 8 or 9 hours to record with stopping and starting. And I apologize. I do gab a lot. I think in the Magnolia tutorial, I said that my dad always said, Teresa, you talk too much. But you know what? If I've been given that gift of the gab, why not use it? So there's my dad up there. And then there's my girls in the picture beside the clock. It's hard to see them, but they're, and I think my mom and my sister are watching. Oh, there go all my clips. And at least they were going to watch. Hold on. Oh. Anyways, I figure might as well put my gabbing to use, and I say that hi Judy. Oh, from Barrie. Woohoo! I'm in Wasaga Beach. I think we've had that conversation before. So where in Barrie are you? What street are you on? Well, I shouldn't say street. Maybe that's giving too much information, but. And your name is very familiar. I wonder if are you a teacher with the school board? Anyhow, so I've got it all folded, and I'm going to just top stitch down one side and top stitch down the other. Got to stop gabbing. Get this done. The thank you again, everybody, for being here. This is so much fun, other than the technical difficulties I seem to be constantly having with YouTube. And it's like, at some point in time, I'll get to be a pro at this, like Lori and Barbie from Jeannie's Designs and Wild Pony Designs. I'm just going to go up the other side. All right. Anyways, as I was saying about this jack, it's so nice and quiet. And I think it's a Juki knockoff. I think. But I'm very thankful I have it. I'm very thankful I got a really good deal on it. So what I do with my strap is, well, burn the ends first of all. Ouch, the threads. So I take the raw edges and I just kind of burn them, just to kind of melt them and seal them. And this helps if you don't have any strap end connectors. And it just helps to seal them. So now this is how I do my strap. So you've got your strap. Brenna's would have been all sewn as one continuous piece. So I need my my rivets and my rivet press. Best investment ever. I think it was $50 or $70 on Amazon. Rivet press. I was banging the daylights out of trying to bang rivets on, and I wasn't even setting them, and I didn't even know that I wasn't setting them. Oh, Brenna says I did good. It's not a private video today. I know. Okay, so this is what I do for when I make my strap. I'm just looking to see what the right. Okay, so what I do is I feed. So there's my right side. Pick a right side. I put my strap on, and then I've got to remember, because I'm used to just like here and the camera's right there, but now I've got to, because the camera's up on the top of my computer. So now what I do is I fold over about an inch where the strap connector is, or where the swivel clasp is. I wish I had gold, or I do have antique brass, which would have looked really, really good, but I didn't have 1/2 inch ones. I only have the 1/2 inch in gunmetal. All right, so I've got that folded up 1/2 inch from the swivel clasp. Then I take the other, and this is how Nicole Neal does hers on Sonar. And then you can either put it underneath that flap, or you can put it over top. I put it underneath, like that. Can you see that? So that the long part is folded right up, butt up against the swivel clasp. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch a hole in between the stitches. I'm just going to punch one hole, kind of center it, and I'm going to put a rivet. So this is another thing from Amazon, is my hole punch. But I also have this Japanese hole punch, which is just it actually pushes in and comes out, and it's really, really good for getting in tight corners, like if you've got a D-ring connector inside a bag and you can't fit this in very well. But since I'm able to manage it with one finger not being able to be used, and I'll just punch a hole. I don't have the grip strength anymore because I've had carpal tunnel surgery done on both wrists. Okay, so I've got my hole punched through. The other thing is, if you have a fraying material, so this is waterproof canvas with a PVC kind of backing, like a rubberized backing, but this part still can fray. So use your fray check. Don't be afraid to use this. And I just stick it in, and it'll go right down into the hole. I just stick it in both sides of the hole. And in case, the first fray check I ever bought, I never even knew it existed. So the first Fray check I bought, it had a scent to it. And I have a scent allergy, which is why I had to stop doing alterations. Sorry, I've got a hair lip. I had to stop taking alterations in because people were washing their clothing in highly scented laundry detergent, and I just couldn't function anymore. So anyhow, I found this on Amazon. I found this Fray check, the Dritz Fray check, but it's unscented. So if you're looking for unscented Fray check, because the other stuff I found was really perfuming, and I just finished it. I got this on Amazon, so I'll try to remember to post that as well. Let me find my book, and I'll make a note because that wasn't as part in case anybody's looking. Okay, Amazon. Free check. All right, so I'll add that as well onto my my list. Okay, so I got my hole, and I'm just going to use gunmetal double cap rivets. Somebody asked me the other day what size. Oh, Joni has a scent allergy too. Yeah, I mean, it was killing me. I had people coming in. I was getting a lot of work on the side for alterations. And then the person who I did those, if you watch the YouTube tutorial I did on adding zippers to compression stockings, they were really, really strong. Like Gain has to be one of the strongest perfume laundry detergents. And it was really, I had to wash them a couple of times and it still didn't make a difference. Alrighty. So I'm not sure what size these rivets are. They could be 8 millimeter. I think the millimeter is the post size. So, but I get these on WAWAK. I call it WAWAK. All right, so I'm just going to pop this into the hole that I just made. And the Fray check has made its way all the way through. So I got the post in the hole. I know you guys who know how to do all this already, but like I said, there might be somebody new, because when I started out, I was watching every little tiny detail of how some people did their things, and I would stop it and I would go back just so that I had an idea of how things were being done. So there, I've popped the other rivet on, but you can see that it's not, where is it? That it's not sitting flush. So I'm going to take my rivet press. I've got to remember to move all the way back here. And then what I do is I take, there's a concave spot here that your one cap fits in, and then it's concave up in here where the other rounded part sits. What I do is I take whatever part I'm going to put on the bottom one, I put it in and I kind of move it around just to make sure it's in that little concave thing. And then I need muscles. And then of course I got to be careful because I've got this hernia that, oh, my chair's stuck, that I got to be careful with. And I can't have surgery on it till I lose 30 pounds. Lovely, right? All right, so there is my strap. And but try out Brenna's. I have done it the way it is written in the pattern, but I just do this because it's faster for me. So we've got our D-ring connectors done, and we've got our wristlet done. Now we're going to work on the strap. So it's all the same. They're all the same procedures. Taking off your double-sided tape, folding into the center, and then folding in again. Now, the only thing is when you're doing something long like the strap, one of the things that I was finding when I first started with bag making, and I mentioned this in my tutorials, is I would do a strap. It was beautiful. Top stitching was gorgeous. And then it would start to twist. And it would just twist. And then I saw on Lynn's Handmade, she was saying that when you sew your straps and do your top stitching, when you start at the top and go all the way down that side, when it's time to do the other side, go back to the same top the same end that you started and go down that side, all in the same direction. And then you won't get the twisting. All right. I'm just looking at the comments. You girls are doing a great job. Thank you. Alrighty, so I'm just going to take the double-sided tape off the one side, and we all know how to do this. Fold this all in. Would have had a blast with this stuff as a kid. Yeah, my lighting isn't the best over here. This is what takes time. That's like when I do my tutorials, I don't, I just stop the camera and then do all this, do all the clipping, and then come back to sew or do all the sewing. Because this is what takes time. But however, you can't stop and put anybody on hold in a live. And that's okay. So who all has the pattern, the Magnolia Rae pattern? And if you don't, get it now before the 22nd to get your 10% off. Because like I said, this is something that you're going to be making a lot of, and it's great. This will be great for gifts and for kids, and you can make them even very masculine looking. In fact, I was even toying with the idea with this one, that the front panel has you make the front panel starting with making the card slots. And I was even thinking of making the back interior lining panel card slots as well. But I know from how I make the card slots, how it turns out, I can put 2 in each card slot. So I have enough room, maybe even 3, to put 6 card slots or 6 cards in these card slots. So there's lots of room. But I know I was calling at bingo the last Sunday night, and I brought it because I wanted to see if people would notice the maple leaf bag, and I brought that with my cell phone in it, and because I'm our Facebook administrator for the retirement community that I live in, so I have to keep on top of the Facebook posts to approve them as well. And and a lot of people noticed the bag and they thought it was really, really cute. So nobody's ordered one yet, but they all noticed it and thought it was really cute. So right now I'm just folding over those edges into the center. I'm not going to run a strip of double-sided tape up the center of this. It's just too much tape. I'm just going to fold it and clip it. And then I'm not doing after I finish sewing the strap, I'm not doing anything with it until we're ready to do the strap, because I don't have a 1/2-inch strap adjuster. So I'm just going to make the crossbody I'm just going to make it with the swivel clips. Okay, so we're just going to clip this together. Oops. So is everybody here a seasoned bag maker as well? Oh, and Brenna said that the card slots are easy. The card slots are very, very easy. They have to be the easiest card slots I've ever seen. In fact, I was even thinking the other thing also is if the pattern was enlarged, like when you print out the PDF pattern pieces, and maybe you enlarge it to 110% or 115%, there's room to make a double wide. You would have room to make a double wide card slot in there. Right. This is what takes the time is clipping, because I'm a slow clipper and a slow sewer. And I want to make sure that it's all lined up. Some people have some pretty interesting names on on YouTube. And in case anybody's wondering where Tree 60 comes from, I get called Tree for short, not Terry. The only one who ever called me Terry was my granddad and my mom's dad, and he always called me Terry Towel. So anyhow, I get called Tree for short, and I was born in 60. So it almost sounds like a 360 spin. Just wondering if you can see how many people are watching. I can't see. Oh, there we go. Oh, we have 13 watches, 12 watching, and we have 5 likes. Okay, so Judy says, I started 2 years ago with faux leather. Prior to that, I made bags by Annie patterns. That was a natural transition from quilting. So quilting, my quilting skills are like nil, other than the fact that I can draw a line and then I can gauge an inch over 2 inches and just draw lines. Yeah, I don't know that I'd be a good quilter. I'm not a very good cutter. But what's interesting is there's a quilting guild. A friend of mine, Joanne Dewhurst, she's an amazing quilter, and it could be Shore to Slope Quilting Guild. She's in Owen Sound, so it could be the Shore to Slope, which is shores like Wasaga Beach, and slopes, Collingwood, Blue Mountain, where the ski resorts are. And that's who did my dad's quilt of valor, because he was in the Canadian Armed Forces, and they do quilts of valor. And anyhow, they've asked me. So in the fall, I'm going to be. Joanne's asked if I would speak to the guild about bag making and how I got started in sewing. So, okay, so I'm going to start at the top here and sew all the way down with a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Then I'm going to come back to this top and sew all the way down from the same side. Alrighty, get that over my neck. It's getting darker out earlier. I don't know if it is where you guys live, but it is here. And of course, because we've been in such a drought, we haven't had any rain for several months now, pretty much. All the leaves are falling. Mind you, I always notice that the leaves start turning autumn colors by mid-July. They start. Actually, this brown thread that looks pretty good with this with these colors. Make sure I'm not running out of bobbin thread. Oh, Murphy's back. Once the goldenrods bloom, yeah, summer's over. Our sumac is turning red now too. Oh, great, my thread just broke. All right, just give me a second, guys. My thread just broke. Well, I'll tell you, working without a pointer finger sure is difficult at times. Okay. Okay, so now I started up here and did all down this side. Now I'm starting at the same top end and working my way down this side so that I don't get any twisting in my my strap. Should be faster. No clips to take out. Okay, so I'm just going to leave my strap for now because I know it's too long. I had to add a section onto it. So I'm just going to take my strap and just put it away for now. Oh, hi, Linda. How are you? I didn't see you pop in. And she says it's hot, hot, hot in Southern California desert. I'll bet. I mean, it's been hot here in Wasaga Beach. It's hot and humid, and it's been up to 37, close to 40 Celsius. So, you know, if you double it, so say you're 25 Celsius and you double that, that's 50, and then add 32, that's 82 Fahrenheit. So it kind of gives you a quick calculation. So I'm just going to take that and put it aside. Okay, so now we're going to work on our strap connector. Find my pattern where I put it. I've had to move everything around. Holy smokes. Oh, here it is. I moved it over here. Okay, so now we're going to work on the strap connector, which is the little slider for your the back of your Velcro. So just let me find the page on here because I want to follow the pattern exactly how she has it. Oh, I can't make my fingers work without my finger working. Okay. So she said, and it's your piece H. So draw a line down the middle of piece H. You've got two short sides and two long sides. So you draw from one short side to the other short side down the center, then double-sided tape on either side. Then you take the double-sided tape off, fold your raw edges into the center, and then you're going to stitch down this side and this side at 1/4 of an inch each. And then you're going to move in an inch to sew down one side in the center and one side in the center. And then that will seal these two edges so that they don't flip open. And I'll show you guys that. Hey, Frankie, you going to come over and say hi? Hey, you pretty kitty. Okay, so I'm just going to do 1/4 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch seam allowance here. Oops, that's not right. Doesn't want to come out. Okay, clip my threads. Okay, So then so we've done 1/4 of an inch here and 1/4 of an inch here. And then we're going to go in an inch on and sew down from this edge an inch and this edge an inch. You might want to flip it over just to make sure that you catch it on this side, even if it might not be quite an inch. And Linda says, beautiful fabric. Thank you. This is from, oops. That's from Sam Fabric Creation. So it's actually Brenna sent this to me with the templates. It went from Quebec to Idaho, maybe even to Florida first, then Idaho, now back to Ontario. So it's a well-traveled fabric, I'll tell you. All right, so I'm just going to stitch an inch. And because my guides aren't the greatest on my my needle plate, I do use this little magnetic. I got this from Amazon. It's a magnetic seam guide, and it has some edges to hold the fabric down as well. This is a really great little gizmo. Because the needle plate that came with my jack, it had nothing on it. So it didn't have any 1/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, or any kind of marking on here. So I had to get one because like I said, I think it's a Juki knockoff. And I was able to get on actually our local sewing store, all about sewing in Barrie. And I was able to get a matching needle plate, which was for a Juki. And it had the markings, but it didn't have a 3/8 of a inch seam allowance marking on it. So I had my ruler where the 3/8 inch was, and I had my X-Acto knife, and I was etching the daylights out of it to get that in there. So the things we have to do, let me tell you. All right, I'm just going to do my inch top stitching down the center. And then do the other side. Okay. Okay. So there you have it. I don't know what the lighting is like, because of the fact that now it's getting dark and I don't have things set up. I think that's better. I just moved my ring light over to the computer now. Okay, so there we have our top stitching down both sides and in the center. Okay, now we're just going to put that aside and we're going to work on our removable strap. So what I have here, we have 2 strap ends. So I have black. I'm going to be using black faux leather. This is actually Mora faux leather from EMMALINE bags. And you use your pattern piece, and then you put 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape top and bottom. I have my strip of webbing, and I'm using a brown webbing. And then your what it says in the pattern for your hook and loop, which we all know is Velcro. That's what I call it. The hardest thing to rip apart. Oh, rip it and sew it. Says my lighting is very nice, tree. Yay! So I know I've said this in my tutorial, my sewing room tours, the 2 now that I have, because I've changed it around. I'm not doing a 3.0 because I've moved things around. I have an old ceiling light up here because I painted everything. All our cabinetry in here was that oak. I'm in a modular trailer type home, and it was all oak cabinetry. So I painted it all white. I painted the walls from, if you're Canadian, it's from Home Hardware. It's a kind of a bluey, greeny, gray, very nice, calming paint color. And my ceiling fan was the ugliest thing, you know, with that rattan center. And I painted it all white. But the lighting I have up there is, if you want really good lighting, because my ring light, it's a daytime, you get the 3 different levels of warm, cool, and mid-cool. And I always have it on the white light, the daytime light. And the light bulbs I use in my ceiling fan are daytime light bulbs. They are more expensive, but they are definitely worth it, because then it lights up the whole room. And if you watch my sewing room tours, you could see where we were inside the room here, but the door to the hallway was open and it had a yellow light bulb in the hall light. So it really makes a difference. Okay, so your Velcro hook and loop, I've put 1/4 inch double-sided tape on there. What's our time? I don't even know what time. Oh, it's 8:15. Okay, I've been on for an hour. We're getting there. All right, so first of all, I'm just going to take my lighter to the ends of the, might blow out because I have a fan going on here, but just to the ends of the, my webbing, so it doesn't fray, even though it's going to be covered with the, ouch, with the end. Okay. I'm just reading, but I know Nancy and I know that Brenna are taking very good care of you guys. Oh, and Nancy says fire's still happening in Canada. Yeah, fires are all northern Canada, and they're even on the East Coast, even in Newfoundland and Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, which we never heard of before. But because there has been no rain, we've got fires everywhere. And now the eastern provinces are, some of them have banned people even going into the woods because it's so tinder dry, that people are getting severely fined just going into the woods, even for a walk. All right, so I'm going to take the double-sided. We've got our little strap ends. And then I just take them and fold them in half like this. I make a little soft shell taco and just slide your webbing into, I have to do it so I can see it, so that the edges meet here and here. Okay, so you've got an end like this and your edges meet. And then I'm going to do the same. And I'm not going to top stitch them. In the tutorial, I top stitch them, automatic thing. And I said, don't tell Brenna that I did it. But it's just an automatic thing because it's just something that we're so used to doing. All right, so I'm going to make another little taco, slide it in there. I have to see what I'm doing. And just line it all up. One end I can top stitch right now, but I'm not going to. Okay. Oh, I know what I forgot. Hold on. I knew I was forgetting a piece of hardware. Okay, so for the rectangle rings, I'm glad I have gunmetal. Okay, I don't stock, like I buy my hardware in bulk from WAWAK or sometimes on Temu, depends on prices and stuff like that. Predominantly WAWAK, because if you spend $100 or more, at least here in Canada, it's wawak.ca. However, it is shipped from New York. I haven't yet paid any exchange rate difference, and I haven't, well, I haven't ordered anything since all these crazy tariffs have come in, but I have an order coming anytime now, though. But I buy mine in bulk because now you can get 25 like tri-glide sliders or swivel clasps or whatever at a time, and their prices are really good. Now I know in the US you guys have so many different wonderful vendors to purchase your hardware and that from, like Jeannie's Designs, of course. Buy Barbie stuff. Here in Canada, we're pretty limited, or I haven't come across too many vendors that I like to get things in bulk. I do get a lot of stuff from Amazon. I get all of my webbing from Amazon because I can buy like a 50-yard roll, and it's really good webbing. I buy my zipper tape by the yard from Amazon because I get the zipper pulls with them. I get 10 yards of zipper by the yard, and I get about 15 to 25 zipper pulls with it for $25 Canadian. So anyways, I don't go out and buy, I don't have rectangle rings on hand because it's just not something that you use a lot of. So if you don't have a rectangle ring to make your strap, if you have a metal tri-glide, then take a pair of pliers and just pull that middle thing off. This is the cheapest way to do it. Take your middle thing off, throw it out, and now you've got a rectangle ring. Sorry, I have to have a drink. Frankie's crying. Okay, so this is what she has here. I'm going to try and do it over here so that you guys can see. Okay, so gather your webbing and your rectangle ring. That's the problem with not having the tablet right here so you can see. Okay, and add the rectangle ring to the right side of your fabric. Make sure, so the right side is here. It's going to be underneath. Okay, yeah, so your right side, you're laying the right side of your webbing down. And then you're going to take your rectangle ring and feed it from underneath. Make sure when you have your rectangle ring, see that line in the center where the join is? There, you can just see it there. Make sure that when you feed it on, that's up. Your right side of the webbing is on your table. Make sure that that line is up so that when it feeds underneath and you fold the webbing over, it covers that line. Okay, and so add the rectangle ring, fold over a certain measurement in the pattern. Okay. All right, that's there. Top stitch next to the raw edge of the strap. Okay, add the rectangle ring, right side of your webbing, and fold over the end of the top stitch next to the raw edge of the strap. I need to put these down so that I don't lose where they are. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is I've got it folded. This is the right side. This is the wrong side. So I have it folded over. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be top stitching this square connector on. You can do it with a box or just 2 lines. And then I'm going to be stitching as close as I can get to the D-ring or the rectangle ring so that it will stay put. So that's what I'm doing right now. I just go forward and back about a couple of times on my webbing. And then I'm going to stitch that, top stitch that connector on there as well. And I'm not going to worry about tying my threads to the back. Now, I've said this in the tutorial, but if you find that when you go from sewing and then you have to stop and then you pivot to go this way, and you wind up with a skip stitch going kitty corner across your corner, the way to stop that is when you stop, before you lift your presser foot and turn it a right angle, make sure that your needle is on the way back up. That way it's caught your bobbin underneath and it's caught the thread underneath, and then it'll stop or prevent the skipped stitches. Yeah. Murphy's back. Okay, so I'm just up. I'm going to lift and pivot. Threads out of the way. Okay. And then what I'm going to do now that I've top stitched this when I'm supposed to top stitch, not like in my tutorial when I wasn't supposed to top stitch, I'm going to do the other end as well, the same way. So I'm just going to do this end now. We're allowed. A lot of clanking around underneath here. Problem is with my table, as much as I love this machine, when the table was built, when because she bought it brand new from Dixie Tailoring in Richmond Hill in Toronto, I believe. It's in Richmond Hill. So the table was perfect. It has wheels and everything. It's not like one of those super industrial tables and that. But the problem is it was built to her height, and she came up to my shoulder, and I'm 5'7". So I have sometimes trouble getting my legs underneath it, and I'll have to see if my brother can come over and maybe use a jack to jack it up and help me get it a little higher. Okay, so I've sewn this end. I'm just going to take my lighter to the threads. And then this is what our connector looks like on this side. Sewn up as close as I can get to the rectangle ring. I'm just going to melt my threads from underneath. Okay. And then I'm just going to do the edges here too, because there could be some little fuzzy sticking out of there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take, so now that what she says, okay, so we've top stitched that. And then we're going to take, so right now, our strap is going this way. So wrong side up, the right side is underneath, and your rectangle ring is here. Now we're going to take it and turn it just around this way, 180 degrees, and the rectangle ring is here. And then we're going to take the hook part of the Velcro. So that's the roughy side, the rough side, I call it. And then we're going to take it here, and we're going to butt it right up against this strap. Okay, the strap that doesn't have the rectangle ring. And of course I have 1/4 inch double-sided tape, and then we're going to stick it on. And then we measure a certain amount of space from the rectangle ring, or from that edge. There it is. So from the end of your strap connector, without the rectangle ring, measure whatever and draw a line. Just using an erasable marker, but I use my gel pen, my white gel pen. I gotta go this way. Okay. And what that's going to do, it's going to create a little bit of a gap in between your hook and loop pieces. And I'll show you what it does after. You can just see my mark. All right, so there's my mark. No, this way. Jeez. Okay, and I'm going to take the backing off of the other piece of the Velcro. And then I'm going to take this straight edge and line it up with this line. And then just make, so my webbing is 1 inch wide, and my Velcro is 1 inch wide as well. So now this is what we have. And now I'm going to top stitch 1/8 of seam allowance around here and around here. And yeah, I've got brown thread in, so it'll be okay on this side. You'll see it on this side. Am I worried about it? Not really. I'm not matching threads at the moment. And the same thing, when you get to your pivot point, make sure that you have your needle on the way up, but not out at the fabric, because you don't want to have it come out, but just so that it can not give you that skip stitch at the corner. And I learned that on YouTube. Like, you want to learn how to do anything, Google it on YouTube. It's amazing how much I've learned how to sew. You know, I've only been sewing since I was 12, and it's amazing what I have learned since bag making and on YouTube, because I never knew a lot of this stuff. And I hate hand sewing with a passion. Any kind of hand sewing, can't stand it. And it's not going to be perfect, but it's okay. I wish I knew a way to stop this table from jiggling so much. It's the wheels are all locked, but it moves a lot. I'm just seeing what the comments are. So Rip It and So It says her internet's acting up, and she's in Central Texas. So my older sister was a nurse in the Austin, Texas area, Backstrop, I think. She was there for 27 years, and then she came back just before COVID hit. So anybody who's a Texan, you'll like this. She sent me this Texas snowman. Isn't that cute? I love it. The water's wearing out, though. I'm going to have to somehow find a way to get it filled. But there's my Texas snowman. Okay, so there we have it. Now your two pieces of Velcro sewn on, and I'm just going to take my lighter to the thread ends. Take my lighter to the ends of my Band-Aids that keep sticking. Okay, so what that does is it enables you to, when you feed your one end into your rectangle ring. So the theory is this gap is where your rectangle ring is going to fall. And then you can take your Velcro and Velcro it on. It doesn't fall there on my, my tumbler, because it's just too big. So she says, oh, I know Bastrop. Yeah, well, that's where my sister, she lived in Dale. She lived in Dale, Texas, but she's been back here in Canada since just before COVID hit in 2018, actually. She made it back just before things shut down. She got back here in end of January of 2019. Okay, so now we have our strap made. Our removable strap, our D-ring connectors, and our wristlet, and we have our crossbody strap. Okay, so that's the strap. Okay, so now we're going to work on the back of the bag. So I have already put my foam on. See, I told you I'm not a good cutter. And in the pattern, there's measurements for here and here. And I'm just going, I've already got a cutting mat here. I moved my cutting mat here. So I'm going to take your X-Acto knife or whatever. I got this really handy dandy, it's like a pen, but it's a ceramic cutter. I got that from she was local. it was Paper Lane Studios. And if you're into card making or scrapbooking or anything like that, she had everything. They moved up to Thunder Bay. I'll have to say hi to her. Yeah, so she was a nurse with the Seton. She was a kind of a nurse where she would go to certain hospitals in the area when for her shifts, and so she kind of moved around to the hospitals. But yeah, she was there for since the early 90s, and then she came back. So anyhow, this is my it's a very sharp ceramic blade. So I'm going to cut from this point to this point, and this point to this point, and I'll use my ruler. Probably, and what I have found is I don't cut as far to those edges, for whatever reason. Maybe because my measuring is not the best at times. All right, I'll know when I get through. Okay, there, I got through it. Because I'm going through. Not only am I going through that thick PVC canvas, but I'm also going through the foam. Okay, so there we have our slits there and there. Just want to make sure I got right to the edge. So if I didn't get right to the edge, then I'll just snip it a bit. Okay. And Catherine says she loves hand sewing. Oh, good for you. Not me. My mom sat us down when I was 6 years old. I remember it was before she went back to work, because she was pretty, she's very, she still is a very independent woman. And back in the 60s, when, the wives stayed home and did all the wifey things. And she went back to work when I was 8 years old. So, but I remember summer of 66, she had all of us girls and the neighborhood girls sitting in our backyard in Kingston, Ontario. My dad was in the military, and we were sitting there, and she taught us all how to embroider. And my embroidery may have looked okay on the top, but it looked pretty bad underneath. Alrighty, so we have now these slits made. So now we're going to take, and then there's a measurement that you have to make on the bottom of this as well. Let's see what my gel pen might work. Got everything all discombobulated here now because I've had to move things around. Okay. I gotta find where that measurement is. I know what it is, but I want to confirm that I get it right. Yeah, okay, I knew what it was, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay. See if my gel pen will work on this. Sometimes it works. It's for paper crafting. Okay, there we got it. Got one. Okay. All right. So there's a measurement that you do on the bottom, on the wrong side of your strap connector. Okay. And then what you do is, okay, this is the tricky part. So that's why I have to really, to make the strap and to do this part is the tricky part. And I made a mistake on one of the ones I did. All right, so you take your piece H, wrong side up, okay? You insert piece H through the top hole, okay, to that line. Get in there. My lines are a little tight, and I'm okay with that. And of course, you have to watch the foam because I have foam in there too. So I've inserted that to that line, okay? And then sew a line of stitching 1/8 of an inch away from the underside of the slit. So on this side, we're going to sew no, hold on. Oh no, we're going to do it on here. 1/8 of an inch on the underside of that slit, and that will hold this piece in. So I have to just make sure that my piece is straight. Once you've made a few of these, it's pretty, it's a slick pattern. It really is a slick pattern. And Brenna did a fabulous job writing this, I'll tell you. I'm in the middle of kind of sort of writing my own right now. If I have time, I'll show it to you after. But, okay, so that's what we have so far. We've got it stitched on. And then we're going to fold this piece H. So now the right side is up. And feed it through the bottom slit. Okay, feed it through the bottom slit. And that you want the piece you are feeding to go through the bottom slit and to go up towards piece A. So up towards piece A this way. And keep that down. And adjust the connector so that you have 1/8 of an inch fold over the top slit. Oh, sorry, you can't even see because my camera's way up here. I gotta lift my arms. Okay, so I'm folding this so that you can see that the top edge is one. I'm trying to see where the camera is. So there's the slit, and it's about 1/8 of an inch. Oh my goodness, above the slit. This is hard. Okay, see that? Trust me. Trying to do this camera. Okay, and adjust. Okay, so you want the piece you're feeding. So what I have done before to make sure that it stays, I've taken a piece of 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape, and I've put it on this underside, the wrong side of this, that end of the connector, because then when we fold it up, it'll stick to the foam. Just like over here. Okay, so there it's up. Okay, so there it's sticking, and it's 1/8 of an inch above that slit. Okay, okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to squish the front of it because it's not sewn on yet. We've just got it kind of connected. So you're going to squish this flat, okay? And then you're going to look to see where this top slit is and the bottom slit, and to see if there's about 1/8 of an inch from the top fold to the slit and from the bottom fold to the slit. And then if it looks fairly even, which it should, then we're going to stitch across the top here and the bottom here on the folds, 1/8 of an inch, and that will connect our pieces. And it will also connect that underside piece that we flipped up with that little piece of double-sided tape. Like I said, this is a slick, slick pattern. Very well written. A lot of thought went into this, I'll tell you. And it just caught. It didn't quite catch my top. I didn't have it up. So I have done this in the past. I have run another stitch line just because I know my webbing is thinner. It's not a thick stitch line. It's not a thick webbing. So I have done a double stitch line at the top there. There, that caught it that time. And then I'll do the bottom. I know I only need to do one stitch line for the bottom. My granddaughter just turned 19 yesterday. Yes, on the 13th. Today's the 15th. Oh my goodness, 2 days ago. So in Canada, she's now old enough to drink. Not that she drinks, but 18 is the age that they can start drinking in Canada. I think they can vote at age 16. I can't remember. Maybe it's 18. Okay, so there we have our little connector. All right, so that piece is now done. Okay, now we're going to move on to the card slots. These are the best card slots ever. Okay, and what the card slots are going to do is they're going to create your front. So before we do that, I'm going to take my back lining, right side up, and the back panel that we just made, wrong side up, and I'm going to put the right sides together with the wrong side, or the wrong sides together. And if you've marked your centers, that's great. I only marked them on one piece, and I'm just going to baste an 1/18 of an inch, or an 1/18 seam allowance around the edge. And then those two pieces are good, ready to go for the next step too. And if you just want to put double-sided tape on them to hold them together, that's good too. I hope you guys are sewing too. It's almost like a sew along, a one-sided sew along. Okay, so there, my back panel is all ready to go. So making the card slots, you have your strip of fabric. Now I can't iron this because it's the pack cloth from EMMALINE bags, and it only comes in basic colors. Like it comes in this red, which looks tomatoey red, but honestly it's a really nice crimson Canada flag red. And it comes in black and navy. And I think that's it. Anyway, the red is great. But so you're going to make your marks. You can just see them on the edges, just within the seam allowance, according to the pattern. Okay, so this is the top line. I don't need to do anything with that. But this next mark here, and I've marked the top of my panel so I know what the top is. So this next set of marks down here, I'm going to fold and line them up, make sure the edges are lined up, and then I'm going to top stitch an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And then all the other marks going down. So there's another set here and another set here. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to fold them and I'm going to top stitch them. This is the easiest set of card slots. I'm telling you, the easiest set of card slots ever. And I'm using brown. Yeah, I would rather not use, I should have changed my thread out, but it's going to have brown thread for top stitching. Oh, well. All right, that's one. So you're going to have 3 peaks, 3 folds that are top stitched. All right, and the last one. So easy peasy. And incidentally, also, when you order the pattern and the templates, Brenna makes the templates herself with their laser cutter and etches them too. So she makes the templates herself. So it's supporting her business, and I'm very thankful I'm able to do this for her, that I finally got my YouTube channel up and running, that I'm able to do this to help her as well. All right, so this is what we have so far. So there's the top. There's the first line. Right. Oh my goodness, right there. I have got to get my tablet going. Yes, thanks, Nancy. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell, do everything, share your brains out. We got to get to 1,000 subscribers. Like as of going live, I was 924 subscribers. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do another Facebook Live, and hope to God I get my tablet up and running with it, because I'm going to do a draw, maybe 2, for whoever comes on live. And I'm going to do a draw for just as a thank you to you guys for being part of the 360 Handmade Bag family. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these folds and we're going to fold them all up just like this. There's a certain measurement from here, and I've got it lined up with that top line. It's hard. There it is. My Band-Aid is in the way. Okay, so I've got it lined up there. Then this one's going to line up a certain measurement, and this one's going to line up a certain measurement. So, and then we're going to baste the sides, but make sure that everything's straight. I do a lot of eyeballing. I do measure, but I do a lot of eyeballing. And for anybody who remembers typing class way back when, I taught myself to type when, like I said, when my mom in 1968, my mom went back to work, and she bought she had a little typewriter that she got her typing speed back. She was a secretary as well. And so I taught myself. She sat me down with her Delta Secondary School typing and shorthand book from her high school. Delta Secondary was in Hamilton, Ontario. And I still have that typing tutorial, and that's where I taught myself to type when I was 7 years old. So a lot of things I've taught myself to do. And I wound up being the fastest typist in our high school at the time. So when I graduated at the young age of 17, because I had skipped a grade. But back when we all had to learn how to center things on the typewriter, you find your center of your page, and then you backspace. You have to count however long the title was. If it was 20 letters, then you backspace 10. So, thanks, Nancy. Okay, so there I have it. Okay, now I'm just going to baste down this side, and I'm going to baste down that side. But I'm going to start from the bottom, because I don't want my presser foot getting caught on here and jolting my edges out of whack. And of course, I can't iron this material because it'll melt. It's nylon. Yeah, my mom's a great role model. I tell you, I grew up wanting to be just like her. And I don't know if any of you guys did it when I absolutely loved makeup and high heels. In fact, I don't know if you can see it, but here, my sister gave me this as well. Isn't that gorgeous? I was known as, well, I was a school secretary, and I was known for my stilettos. I didn't care how much pain they were, or the fact that my knees are shot now, but boy, they sure look good. And anyhow, this is a wine bottle holder. But yeah, so my mom used to have the old high-heeled shoes from when she was a secretary, before her and my dad met, or before they got married. and I loved high heels, but I would get into her makeup. And as a kid, you know, we ran around outside the whole, you know, we didn't have to worry about UV protection or anything like that. And we were so tanned. And my grade 9 picture, you know, long black hair. I'm premature platinum, but my hair used to be coffee black. And I was so tanned, and I thought, she's never going to know I got into her makeup. And maybe the Maybelline ice blue metallic eyeshadow that was out in the late 60s, early 70s. I put that right across my eyelids, and it was on picture day. And I'm like, I thought I looked great. And all you could see was this blue because I was so tanned and dark black hair. And I'm like, she's never going to know I got into her makeup. Well, how stupid was I? It was picture day. Oh, well. Yeah. Yeah, well, I was pretty adept at getting into her makeup before I went to school and putting everything back perfectly. So these things that I thought she'd never, ever know. But yeah, she was a secretary too. And then when we grew up in Borden, Canadian Forces Base Borden, went to high school there, just 45 minutes away from here, half an hour away. Where was I going with that? Anyways, I can't remember. Oh, no, sorry. My dad was in the military there, and my mom was the base commander secretary. So she was the top secretary in Borden. All right, so this is what we have for our card slots already. And there's your back. Now what we're going to do is the card slot wings, which is your piece E. You have 2 of them, okay? We're going to take them, and starting from the top, we're going to pin them right sides together on each side. And then we're going to sew them. I'm just looking what the seam allowance is that she has here. Oh, I haven't hit there yet. Oh, everything's sticking. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to pin these together, matching your top corners and your edges. We all know how to do that, but somebody could be new. And if you're new here, welcome. And if you're just learning how to do bag making, that's amazing. I know exactly where you're at because I was there too, 2.5 years ago. I knew how to sew, or at least I thought I knew how to sew until I got into bag making, and then learned so much. And then learned how to do so much on YouTube. Like when I bought my vintage Kenmore for $50 at a garage sale here in the park where I live. That thing, I use that to make all my bags, and it sews through everything. It's a vintage Kenmore from the early 70s. Janome made them, made in Japan, all metal. And I'm like, okay, how do I clean it? And how do I oil it? Go on YouTube. There's all these tutorials on how to do it. Okay, so there's the top. I've put the wings on both sides, so I'm going to sew at the seam allowance that she has in the pattern. Then I'm going to flip them open and then finger press them open, and then I'm going to do an 1/8 of an inch top stitch. I've got to stop gabbing because we've got to get this bag done. Yeah, I do talk a lot. I know my sister Debbie said that they were going to try and watch, but I don't know if she's here or not. I'll have to watch. I'll have to check all the comments afterwards. Hopefully I'll be able to pull them up to be able to read them all afterwards to see what everybody had to say. But I'm glad you're all talking amongst yourselves and chit-chatting. And like I said, a lot of people know each other already just from, Barbie's channel and all the other YouTube channels. Okay, so I've got them sewn here and here. I'm just going to fold it open, finger press them open. Yes, Gloria, I did say that my daddy said I talked a lot. But you know what? He made me. So that's what I always said to him. I always said that, you know what? You made me. You made me this way. Okay, so I'm just going to fold these open, and then I'm just going to top stitch them. Okay, almost done the card slots. Keep an eye on my bobbin. Okay, and then if you want to try out your card slots, so that's how we have them now. So you've got 3 card slots, but I know you can fit at least 2 in each one. So there's my dad's Legion card. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay, and they all fit beautifully, but there's another one, 4, blood donor card, 5, 6. Lots of room for 6 cards in there. And then if you want to make another panel, instead of having the back panel flat, you could even make another panel for the back, and you can have lots of cards if you've got tons of cards to carry. So yeah, I don't just keep these packed away. Okay, so then the next step is we're going to take pattern piece A. I just happen to have a template, which is fabulous. So we're going to take pattern piece A. We're going to flip it onto the wrong side. I don't know whether she has that marked or not. But anyhow, it's easier to do it on the wrong side. So put your wrong side up. Your watch isn't working. It's 9 o'clock. Okay. So there's the top. Put it wrong side up. Put your pattern piece. Can't get a hold of it. Pattern piece A on top so that you can and center it. And then just draw around the template of the pattern piece. I'm going to need a pen. Moved. Can't find anything. Just put it back here. Okay, so I'm just going to draw around that, and then we're going to cut around that. We're going to cut around the pattern, the template, that piece that we've traced around. This is where I wind up not getting it super straight because, like I said, my cutting isn't the best. Oh, there's my pen. Okay, so we trace that around. You can see it. And then I'm just going to cut it. I kind of cut it a slightly larger than the line just to be on the safe side so that it doesn't wind up being too short on the actual panel A front or back because of the fact that the foam is there. So I give it a little bit of extra grace. Are you guys good to stay on, or should we do this in 2 parts? Tell me what you want to do. Do you want to continue on? This could be another hour or so. What do you want to do? Do you want to continue on? Or do you want me to split it into 2 sections? Okay, Nancy's good. Everybody give me a thumbs up or something to let me know that we're going to continue on. Okay, so as we're waiting, so there's our front panel. And then there's the new cards, there's the card slots for the front. So we're going to clip those together, and I'm just going to stitch. We still have 9 people watching. Okay, so I'm just going to clip the 2, and then I'm going to baste them together. Yeah, see, I'm glad I gave it a little bit of that extra grace, maybe a 1/16 of an inch around the drawn template mark, because then just because of the foam adds an extra bit of depth. Okay, I'll just stitch around that. That's why when I'm recording the video, I can stop, do this stuff, and then start talking again. Is everybody else? I would be up for another session another day. And Gloria, okay, so that's Joni. Gloria has a thumbs up, because it is getting late. I know it's after 9 o'clock here in Ontario. Well, where I am in Ontario, because there's another time zone in Ontario as well. Okay, so there's the back panel. There's the front panel. No, front panel and back panel. Okay, so why don't we stop here, and then I'll book another live. Okay, let's just take a moment. What's good for everybody to resume another day? Because it is taking longer, but like I said, I gab. Can you imagine if we were on a Zoom? Oh, I never shut up. All right, let me see what my calendar is for tomorrow. I'm good tomorrow. So it's Sabrina, right? So-and-so is it Sabrina? Like when I first had my 360 handmade bags, and Catherine's driving tomorrow. So I had my first, and well, I go by Teresa Beaumont, but everywhere else like YouTube and Facebook and Gmail is all Culos Beaumont, because Culos is my married name, so that people, because we're Army brats and we don't have hometowns, so it's easier for people to find us, like if they know my maiden name. But I had that on my YouTube, and I thought, oh, I better take it off. And then I just put Teresa. So I'm open. I can do whatever this weekend. I know Barb does a lot of lives on Sundays, but do you guys want to come back? What would be a good time tomorrow to come back? Oh, Brenna was MIA. You're allowed. You have a baby. Okay. Does 1 o'clock tomorrow sound good, guys? 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I know, Brenna, that's going to be like 11 o'clock your time. And Nancy, I don't know what time that is. I don't know. Are you Eastern, or are you... No, we're not. We're going to split it up. We got as far as the front and back panels, and then the straps and all of that. So now the next part is the zipper lining and the gusset, and then the binding. I just think, okay, so yes, that's 12 in Texas. So yeah, you're an hour behind me. But Nancy, I think are you the same time? Are you Eastern? Yeah, she's Eastern. Okay. And Brenna's 2 hours. So, be 12. If it's one, you're only an hour behind now? Okay, why don't we come back tomorrow for 1 o'clock? And let me see if I can get my tablet. Oh, you've always been an hour behind. Okay, for some reason I thought you were Alberta time. Okay, so if that's good, I'll say, okay, 1 o'clock tomorrow, we'll come back. I hope I can get my tablet working. And I'll try and schedule another, put another notification schedule. Did you guys get a notification that said notify me? You know how Barbie does that, and she gets her bye. Thanks for sewing with me, and thanks for being here and putting up with all my tech glitches. So you got a notification and it said notify me, because there probably were a billion of them. I don't know. Anyways. Anyhow, okay, so I'll do another notification, and I'm hoping I can get this right. But like I said, I just don't get it. I'm so very, very techie, and this is just every time I do something on YouTube, I lose it. So, and I think it might be because it might be between my phone and my tablet, although they're Samsungs and they're both linked, just like they're both linked to my computer. So, anyhow, all right. So we'll come back tomorrow at 1. I'll set up a notification. I'll put all the links. I'll amend this, put all the links in this as well. And thank you so much, Brenna and Nancy, for being my moderators. So now that you guys are already set up, that's great. Thanks so much, Joni. Thanks so much, Kathy and Nancy and Gloria and so, I think is Sabrina. And thank you, everybody, for being here. I really, really appreciate it. So I'm just going to go up in the comments. And Catherine was here. Marie. Of course, Nancy and Brenna. And Joni. Catherine Leslie. And Rip It and so on. I love these. Love some of these names. And Judy, who's in Barrie, got to find out where you are. For some reason, I think your name is familiar. And I hope I didn't miss anybody. But thank you, everybody, so much for being here and for putting up with my technical glitches. A year from now, I'll probably have it all figured out. But we'll see you guys here tomorrow, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will finish, we'll be working on the zipper and the zipper gusset and the bottom gusset and the binding. And then we'll get our Magnolia Rae all made up. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye.